And we are able to address several matters, including bond, possible arraignment, and a possible plea offer if one has been made by the state at this juncture. Ms. Bridgewater, what is the SAP reset date?
It is April the 2nd.
Okay, April the 2nd is our SAP reset date. I want to begin by advising one that this whole entire proceeding is being recorded as well as live streamed on YouTube. I want to also remind the defendants on this calendar that you have certain constitutional rights. The first being that you have a right to have representation. You should know who your counsel is by now. The second one is that you have a right to remain silent. Remember that anything that you state about the facts, circumstances, and the occurrences of this case can and will be used against you. The state is here and they're listening, so listen to your attorneys. All right, who do we have first, Deputy?
Number 6, Fleetwood.
Okay. This is 24 CR 001297G, Javon Fleetwood, charged with 1 count of willful obstruction. Pre-trial.
13 total. He got open cases in Superior Court and State Court. 2019 ag assault robbery conviction. I think he's a CPO. That's it.
All right.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. In this case,
Good afternoon.
Stand up.
this case is involving an inmate fight where the victim, who is also an inmate, obviously, his name is DeMarcus Bussey, Bussey. He was attacked by the defendant and his co-defendant at the Rice Street Jail. It looks like the co-defendant actually stabbed this defendant or this victim. But the defendant that's in front of the court today actually just punched and beat the victim. The state is asking for a $2,000 surety bond, no further violent contact with the victim, DeMarcus Bussey, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
All right. And I see that before we get started, PD Atai is stating that she needs to interview someone. So can you all make that happen? I think Dontavius or something. I couldn't see the name.
Yes, Your Honor. I don't
Okay.
see them on.
Oh. Does anybody know what happened to him?
That's Union City. This person is not here in the courtroom.
Oh, they're in Union City. Is there any way she can call down there to interview him? Hello?
Oh, sorry, Your Honor. I've tried calling. They didn't answer, and I left a message, but I don't know if they check that.
Deputies, is there anyone?
Stand by. We're trying to contact them now.
Okay,
Thank
thank you. Thank you. All right, go ahead, PD. Who do we have? Who's representing Mr. Fleetwood? Hello?
Keith Cook.
Oh, PD Cook. Okay, go ahead.
Your Honor, my client is finishing a sentence at Hays State Prison, a CPO. So he'll be there at about another year. I'm not sure what comes after that. He's not going anywhere, so we would just ask for a signature only bond and just move him along. I'm sure they would probably take him anywhere. Well,
Please be quiet, Mr. Fleetwood. It's not your time
but
to talk.
we'll leave all that up to the judge's discretion. This isn't going to be an issue for quite a while as far as the adjudication.
Mr. Walker.
So my opinion is, I mean, he didn't stab the individual, but the person that was assisting him fighting the victim stabbed the individual. But if he's going to prison or another facility for a year, the court might as well sit a surety bond, because if you sit a signature bond today, I can't speak to the future. I don't know if he's interested in a plea, but essentially, if you sit a signature bond today, he will have no time to go towards this case. As opposed to if you sit a surety bond, whatever time he served while he's serving on his other sentence, he at least will be getting credit for it.
Right.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
I mean, I'm not his defense attorney, so.
Mhm. All right, I will go ahead and order a $2,000 surety bond. I will order no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. I'm going to order no further, I'm sorry.
I can't burn that, man. Like, ain't no purpose to give me a bun and I can't burn that. I'm in prison.
She understands it.
She don't
I
know.
understand that, but I have to give you a bond, okay? And so, no further contact with the victim, DeMarcus, Bussey, okay? All right,
Judge,
thank
he
you.
has two charges. How do you want to break that down?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see the battery. 1,000 on each.
Okay. And that was a no further violence?
I'm sorry, no further contact.
Okay.
Next is position number 19, the private attorney case.
Okay.
Blunt, what number you said?
19.
19.
Tyson Rowe.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, this is
Your Honor,
24.
this is Andrew Smith representing Mr. Rowe.
Tell me the name again.
Tyson Rowe. And
Right,
my
and your
name
name,
is
counsel?
Andrew. My name is Andrew Smith.
Okay, Andrew Smith, okay. All right, this is 24 CR 001312G, Tyson Road, charged with 1 count of simple assault, 1 count of simple battery, and 1 count of disorderly conduct. Pre-trial?
Second arrest. Last arrest was back in 2023. Selling marijuana out of Carroll County on probation for that to 2026. That's it.
All right, state.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. My sincere apologies. What is the defendant's last name? I didn't hear.
Rowe, R-O-W-E.
R-O-W-E-E.
Rowe.
All right, Your Honor. Not so brief
No.
facts in this case is that the victim, Tony Addison, Tonyaddi, SON, reported to the Atlanta Police Department that he was the victim of an assault that occurred at Atlantic Station, located at 1371 Market Street, Northwest Atlanta, Georgia, here in Fulton County, Georgia. The victim stated that on September 23rd, 2023, he was outside sitting, minding his own business on the bench at the location, charging his phone. He advised that he observed an unknown vehicle with heavy tint behind begin to slow down and approach his location. He stated that he observed the passenger side window roll down in sort of a drive-by manner and saw that he recognized what he recognized to be the barrel of a firearm pointing at him. In fear for his life and safety, he believed that he was going to be shot. So he attempted to take cover and shield himself the best that he could. He stated that he felt unknown objects strike him repeatedly, after which the suspected vehicle fled from the location at a high rate of speed. The victim inspected the items, and it appeared that he was struck by what he discovered to be some type of pellet coming from some type of pellet gun and or air rifle. Contact was made with the Atlantic Station security, who advised they were able to track the vehicle on camera via the Georgia tag. They advised that the vehicle drove around the property briefly, entered the parking deck, then exited the parking deck, and then drove to the location. Footage corroborated the statements that were made by the victim in this case, as well as the tag was found to be registered to the defendant. Using investigative tools, such as phone records, they connected the defendant to being present inside of the vehicle at the time of the incident. Our office was able to get in contact with the victim. The victim confirmed the events and the warrants. They stated that they asked, when asked if they knew the defendant, stated that he did not know the defendant. He does not know why the defendant or anyone would do that to him. He stated that he was not injured, but he felt stings from being hit with the pellets. He stated that he goes to the location frequently and often. He states that he wants, obviously, no contact with the defendant and for the defendant to stay away from the area as he goes to that area often. I do believe that Mr. Addison is on the call, so if we could sound for him in accordance with Marcy's law, that'd be greatly appreciated, Your Honor. Given the severity of the matter, the matter is also seeking to be sought to be upgraded to a felony as our office believes that this is a felony aggravated assault, Your Honor. The recommendation from the state is a $5,000 surety bond, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, no contact with the victim, and a stay away from Atlantic Station's property. Nothing further to add from the state at this time. Did we lose the judge?
Judge, you're muted.
All right. I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. Is the victim on the line, Tony Addison? Tony Addison. Mr. Addison? I cannot see whether he's on or not.
Doesn't look like anybody by that name is on.
Okay. All right, we will go forward. And who's representing Mr. Rowe?
It's Andrew Smith from Howard and Arco, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead. You may present.
Yeah, we were just retained on the case yesterday, Your Honor. This is the first time we've heard these allegations. We think that this case is a case of mistaken identity. From my understanding, the client isn't aware of any of these circumstances happening. The state mentioned that this could potentially be upgraded to a felony, but it hasn't been upgraded to a felony yet. He's just been charged with misdemeanors. He has a lot of connections to the community. I don't think he's a flight risk, and I would just ask for a reasonable bond as a matter of law because he's only been charged with misdemeanors.
Does he work? Does he work?
I am not sure, Your Honor. He could potentially speak to that.
Yes, I work.
Okay.
And I just know for the record that the vehicle was registered to him and phone records tracked the phone with the vehicle during the incident, and the incident was captured on camera.
All right. I'm going to order I will order a $6,000 signature bond, and I'm going to order that signature bond through the jail. That'll be $2,000 on the simple assault. I'm sorry, $3,000 on the simple assault, $2,000 on the simple battery, and $1,000 on the disorderly. I'm going to order a complete stay away from the Atlantic Station. It's a pretty vast and big area. I just don't want Mr. Rowe to go anywhere near Atlantic Station. How many ever blocks that is, streets. So you just have to shop and go somewhere else. No further contact with the victim, Tony Addison. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond.
Judge, can you repeat the breakdown again?
$3,000 on the simple assault, $2,000 on the simple battery, $1,000 on the disorderly.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Okay, next is position number 3, Ms. Banks.
This is 24 CR 001294J, Deandra Banks, charge of 1 count of simple battery family violence, pretrial.
She got 5 total. She don't have any violence. This is level 1.
Okay. All right.
Yes,
Okay.
Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched at 3028 Tylerton Drive when they spoke to the victim, Ms. Jade Wilkins. She advised that she was in an argument with her boyfriend's sister. At that time, the defendant began to throw her belongings at the door. And then the defendant subsequently punched her and drug her by the hair, causing her to bleed from her mouth. There is video footage of this incident. The state is asking for a $1,500 surety bond, no contact with the victim, Ms. Wilkins, a stay away from the incident location, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. Of course, we would sign for the
All
victim,
right.
Jade Wilkins.
Okay, is Miss Wilkins on the line? Miss Wilkins. Nope. All right, go ahead, PD.
Your Honor, this is Miss Banks' home, or actually her mother's home. Miss Wilkins does not live there, so we would object to the stay away. Miss Wilkins, it is my client's position, was the aggressor and was drunk and was more or less being removed from the home where she does not actually live. So we would ask for a signature only bond at whatever level the judge deems appropriate, no stay away, but we have no problem with no further contact with Miss Wilkins, but we do object to the stay away from the I've got the, if we're talking about the Tylerton Lane address, that we do object to that. That's Miss Banks' mother's home. Miss Wilkins is no relation, to the family and does not live there.
And what did you tell me about employment for Miss Banks? Or
I'm
did
sorry.
what did you tell me about employment for Miss Banks?
Miss Banks is not employed at this time. She takes care of her 6-month-old daughter at the location. The stay-at-home mom.
All right, I will order a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. I will order no drugs, alcohol, guns, or weapons while on bond. And I will order no further contact with the victim, Ms. Wilkins. And I won't order to stay away from her. So that should be it for now.
Thank you.
Level
amount?
1,
3,000 SOP pretrial,
Level 1, Holly, yes.
level 1. Huh?
You good, man. Next is position 4, Ms. Bent.
(24CR001295G), Alicia Bent, charge of 1 count of simple battery family violence, pretrial.
5th arrest, 2018 FTA, 17 theft by taking no load, and 2011 theft by receiving. Level 1.
All right, stay.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. 1 second, my laptop froze.
Okay.
In this case, law enforcement was dispatched at 8350 Roswell Road, where they met with the victim, Khalil Fuller. Fuller advised that he and the defendant lived, he and the defendant lived together, and they also shared a child together. They got into a verbal disagreement. The defendant did slap the victim while he was holding his phone. The state is asking for $1,000. I'm sorry, we're asking for a central bond through pretrial services, a 2-day anger awareness, no contact with the victim, and a stay away from the incident location, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
All right,
What do you have as the incident location, Mr. Walker?
8350 Roswell Road.
Oh, okay. That would be linked. Okay. Okay, gotcha. Your Honor, yeah, the parties do share a child together. The arrest affidavit said, as I read it, that she slapped his hand and he dropped the phone. If that's not an SOB through the jail, I don't know what is. And she has no problem staying away from him and no further contact with him. As far as the incident location, she lives elsewhere with her child, so that wouldn't be a problem.
so where's this incident? This was
According to
somewhere
the warrant,
public or
it's at their
just-
home and they live together and also have a child together. And I mean that what he's saying is correct. That's a simple battery family violence. She slapped his phone out of his hand. That's offensive
And
contact.
that's listed as her address as well.
They live together. So I don't know if he was trying to minimize the facts, but that's literally the definition of a simple battery family violence. So
She has two different addresses she can go to. One that are
All
not.
right, and she has another place she can live.
Yeah, she can.
How old is the child?
The child in this case is 5 and 3, 2 children, 5 and 3.
All right, I'm going to order the $2,000 signature bond through pretrial. There's a 2-day anger awareness course, Mr. Toussaint.
Your Honor, we would object. I'm sorry, we would object to that. She slapped his hand.
well, I mean, if you want to admit on record that she slapped his hand, that's great. But to answer the question,
No. The
well,
arrest.
you already did. But to
The
answer the
arrest
question,
warrant says that, and that's all we can go on. We're not going to try it. No admission.
well, to answer the question, they have a 1-day anger awareness class, Your Honor, but you can order them to take it as many times as you want. So, for instance, we had a case yesterday. I think Judge Morrow ordered somebody to take the class 5 days in a row. So when I say a 2-day anger awareness, that means you take the class for 2 days.
We would object.
I don't know. I guess you learn the same thing over and over.
Well, sometimes the first time doesn't stick, Mr. Howard.
Well, she ain't even been yet, so I don't know.
Well, I hope she doesn't slap the phone out of your hand and you can report back.
I got
I
Bluetooth.
certainly wouldn't call the police if she did. That's just me.
If you get me, I'm calling the police.
I do understand. I'm going to order the 1-day anger awareness course 1 day, and hopefully she gets all she needs to get from that 1 day. I'm going to order a stay away from the 8350 Roswell Road. If there's any visitation allowed with the child, that it be reciprocated by a third party, so that she will have, right now, since this just happened, no further contact with the victim at this time. We want to make sure there's been the ample cooling down period. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, guns, or weapons while bond.
My client has a quick question apparently about you.
Say that again.
My client had a question about the address, so I want to make sure we're all clear on that.
Good afternoon, Judge. I just wanted to know, my son's father's address where the lease is 808 Belcourt Parkway, and the lease at 8350 Roswell Road is in my name. So I was just wondering, if it's a problem, it's okay, but is there any way that he can stay at 808 Belcourt Parkway where his lease is at, and I can stay at 8350 where my lease is at?
If we have separate addresses for you, what does the state say?
So the stay away I asked for was from the victim's address. So
Is that the 8350 Roswell?
I believe that's what I said.
Okay, sorry.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I make mistakes too, but I
I
believe,
show it as being 8350 Roswell Road.
correct, and that's why I asked for the stay away, and that's where the victim lives, and the defendant can reside elsewhere. So
Okay. That's acceptable.
I think we're all
Okay.
saying the same thing is what I'm trying to say.
I think so.
I believe we are. Okay. We're on the same page. Sounds good. And you have those addresses, Mr. Bridgewater?
I have it.
Thank you. All
Thank-
right, that should clear up this case. Thank you.
Number 13.
This is 24 CR 001302C, Veronica Moore, Lakota, charge of 1 count of simple battery, family violence. Pre-trial,
First arrest. Jail is the recommendation.
okay? Stay.
All right, Your Honor, I'm just pulling up my notes. Your Honor, brief facts of the case is that on March 19, 2024, the officers were dispatched to 4231 Sir Dixon Drive, South Fulton in Fulton County, Georgia, in reference to a physical domestic dispute. The defendant advised the victim never touched her during the verbal altercation, but the victim advised that her and the defendant, who is she's married to the defendant's son. They were currently going through a divorce proceedings. She stated, and they have a court hearing. They had a court hearing that day. She's advised that during the verbal altercation, the defendant, with the defendant, she had her phone and was video cameraing everything. She stated that the defendant came to her daughter's bedroom, and while attempting to gain entry to the bedroom that's where the defendant reached out with both of her hands and grabbed her by the neck and pushed her in an attempt to get the juvenile, who we will refer to as S&M. The victim advised that she was not injured. The juvenile did witness the verbal/physical altercation. Our office has been able to get in contact with the victim in this case. The victim's name is Epic, E-P-I-C, Journey, Journey, who advised that she is the daughter-in-law of the defendant. She stated that they all lived together at the incident location. She confirmed the events in the warrant. She stated that this is the first time that the defendant has been violent towards her. She stated that she has filed for a TPO today against all 3 individuals. Looks like Stephen Moore, who I believe is her husband, who I believe is her husband, the defendant, and I believe the father, which is Myron Lokaduck. The victim stated that she is in fear of the defendant and she does not wish to have contact with her. She stated that she wants the defendant to stay far away from the residence. And I do believe that she's on the Zoom call today. So if we could sound for her in accordance with Marcy's law, that'd be greatly appreciated. The recommendation from the state in this matter is a signature bond through the pretrial services. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons, no contact with the victim, a stay away from the incident location, and the completion of an anger awareness course. Nothing further to add from the state at this time. And if we could just sound for Miss Journey, that'd be greatly appreciated. Nothing further.
All right, Epic Journey. Ms.
Yes, ma'am.
Journey,
Yes,
do you
ma'am.
wish to address the court today?
I just don't feel safe in the
No.
environment.
First answer the question, yes or no. Do you wish
Yes.
to address the court? If you do, I'm gonna swear you in first. Raise your right hand. Do you affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
All right. Are you in fear of Miss Veronica Moore? And I don't know how to pronounce the last name.
Lakota.
Lakota. Are you in fear of her?
Yes.
You want to have any further contact with her?
No.
Okay. And your relation to her?
Mother-in-law.
I'm sorry?
She's my mother-in-law.
Mother-in-law. Okay. And you don't reside with her, right?
We do.
You do reside together.
Yes.
All right. Any cross-examination questions?
Nothing,
No, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
Okay. All right. You can mute yourself, Miss Journey, and then I'll hear from the other side and give my ruling. Okay. Thank you. PD Cook.
It's my case, Your Honor.
Oh, PD Atai. I'm sorry. Go
Yes.
ahead.
It's okay, Your Honor. My client is 69 years old. She has absolutely no criminal history. This is her very first arrest. She firmly denies the allegations, and states that the complaining witness was the first aggressor. There was supposed to be, or there is a final divorce hearing today at 3, and she states that the allegations were a scheme to prevent her from attending and making a statement about the complaining witness's abusive behavior towards the children at the hearing today, at 3 o'clock. Again, she has absolutely no criminal history. This is her very first arrest. She has been living at this Sir Dixon Street address for the last 2 years, to help care for the grandchildren, and she's there with her son and her husband. And Your Honor, I would object to a stay away. I believe today at the hearing, they're supposed to get a final order as far as, who stays in the home and who doesn't. Her son does own the home. And she states that the complaining witness travels extensively internationally for work, and she cares for the child or the grandchildren very regularly. I would ask, since this is her very first arrest, she's 69 years old, she's already had a fall in the prison, she suffers from migraines. I would ask for a signature bond through the jail. I would object to an anger awareness. It is not appropriate in this case. She's 69 with no criminal history. And I would object to the stay away. I would ask for no violent contact and nothing further.
And I just notate that the incident date is the 19th. There hasn't been a sufficient amount of cooling off period, as well as someone has to go, something has to shake. And so I don't think we should further victimize the victim in this case.
Yeah, I'm torn, PD Atai, to send her back. Didn't sound
Your
like
Honor,
it was just a verbal argument from the allegations, is a little more.
well, Your Honor, I mean, my client just states that the complaining witness got in her face, charged at her. So she does claim that the complaining witness was the first aggressor. And the complaining witness did state that there have never been any instances of violence.
And Your Honor, I just point out that the warrant states that the defendant herself told the officers that the victim never put her hands on her.
Well, who grabbed their neck? What did I?
The defendant. Yeah. The defendant
She
herself
does,
said that the victim
and-
never put her hands on her.
but my client firmly denies the allegations.
Now that she's been arrested.
And is it true there's a hearing this afternoon? Over in juvenile court, is it, or superior court? Where's this other hearing?
Can I answer, Your Honor?
Uh-huh.
It's at the family court today at 3. I have video of it. That's why they arrested her. I have the video of everything.
And then at 3 o'clock is something else?
It's our final divorce hearing.
Oh, it's a final divorce hearing. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And so are you
I'm
going to
actually-
be moving out when you're divorced or not?
But it depends on what happens today with the judge. I'm
Okay.
waiting to find out what she recommends for everything. Because right now I'm in the family court office in the court building right
I
now.
was going to say I was looking at the time. So you have that hearing, you're live there. Okay. Not on
Yeah.
Zoom. Okay. And so whose house is it?
So, Mr. Moore and I moved in at the same time. We got married in the house, but we were already living there. So the house is in paperwork on his name, but we're going through that process to solidify everything with the judge today and who will be there. They actually have another home that they own not far from that house.
And
Your
so
Honor,
they're
I
purchasing or
do
renting?
have video of the entire situation that I can actually screen share and show now.
Well, this is not the trial or the hearing. This is just a bond hearing, and I'm trying to
Okay.
make sure that everybody's going to be safe. And it's ironic that you have your divorce hearing. Whose name is this house in?
Actually, when my daughter came home, this happened after the first hearing. She got mad yesterday and told my daughter some
No,
stuff.
my
and then
my
kept telling
question
me.
is, my question was, whose name is this house in? Is it purchased? Is it leased?
It's
Whose
purchased
name?
in Mr. Moore's name.
Okay, you and Mr. Moore. Okay, not Miss Moore Lakota,
She
not
is,
in her
no,
name. Okay,
no.
and
I've been there
she lives
since the
somewhere
house
else.
was
Do you
built.
know?
Yes, she has another house in Mock,
Gotcha.
Georgia, and I've been there since the house was built 8 years ago.
Your Honor, I
Okay,
think
gotcha.
since
All right.
Your Honor, I just think since the judge at the family court is going to be making a ruling, I would ask for no further contact with the complaining witness, and then whatever the living arrangements are going to be. I would ask for no stay away from that address because she may not after today be at that address. So I think a no further contact is sufficient.
Your Honor, what the judge rules in a divorce proceeding has no bearings on the mother-in-law. And again, I want to state as it relates to the
And no further
retaliatory nature
contact.
of the proceedings, that it was clearly stated in the warrant that the defendant herself stated that the victim never put her hands on her. And it also states that there was video footage, and the victim is here today to say that the officer made his determination based on the video footage that was shown and that was mentioned in the warrant. And so I think all of the discussion is in opposite to any sort of ruling against the mother-in-law.
Right. It sounds like it's not even the mother-in-law's property, which is why I'm inclined to say that she needs to stay away from the property, so that they can get their divorce and move on from it. Sounds like it's a marital home between the victim and the husband or her son.
I think the mother-in-law, unfortunately, Your Honor, I think the mother-in-law should stay away from the property because the victim still lives there and still has
Right.
some sort of right to it.
Right. So that's what I'm going to order. I'll give her a signature bond, $3,000 signature bond through the jail. And I'm going to order that she stay away from 431. Is it Sir Dixon Drive? And that she have no further contact with the victim, Epic Journey, and no drugs, alcohol, guns, or weapons while on bond. That's all I order today. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you.
Position number 5, done.
Okay. This is 24 CR 0012966J. Krishan Dunn, charged of 1 count of willful obstruction, 2nd count operating a vehicle where prohibited, and a 3rd count of driving while license suspended or revoked. Pre-trial.
27 total. Got an open case out of Fulton for ag assault. 23 CP 218806. Battery DV cruelty to children out of state court. 21 CR 000972J. Appears to have open case out of New York City. Illegal sale and use of toxic vapes. Sale of nitrous oxide. Open battery, on probation for robbery, financial transaction, card theft, 2 counts until 2027. A couple of FTAs from last year, 2022, trespass, criminal damage to property, simple battery. 2021 suspended license NOLO. 2019 FTA. That's it.
So obviously the defendant has a lengthy criminal history, but I just want to highlight that I'm showing FTAs in 2018, 2019, 2022, and 2023, and 2022, I believe, was more than one FTA. But in this case, the defendant was driving an ATV or an off-road vehicle down Main Street in East Point, Georgia. He actually drove past the officer who pulled him over. ATVs are prohibited on public streets. When the officer pulled him over, the officer asked him for his name. He refused to give his name, and also was determined when his name was ascertained that he also had a suspended license. For each count, the state is asking for a $500 surety bond. No driving of a vehicle or ATV, as he has no license and ATVs are prohibited to be driven on public streets. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. We can't hear you, Mr. Cook.
She's on mute. The judge is on.
Judge, you're muted.
All right, PD Cook, go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. We have no objection to the conditions of bond. We would be asking for a signature only bond through pretrial at whatever level the judge deems appropriate.
All right, I'm going to order the $1,500 signature bond. I'm going to order it through the jail, 500 on each of the charges. I'm going to order no driving without a valid license, no riding of ATV without the same, no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond.
Next is position number 7, Mr. Todd Getty.
Hey.
24 CR 0012988, Todd Gotti, charged with 1 count of cruelty to children in 3rd degree, 2nd count of battery, family violence, pretrial.
First arrest, jail is the recommendation.
Day.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 7015 Hunters Glen Place in Roswell, where they met with the victim, Miss Carla Gaddy. I do believe that she's on the line. Law enforcement was dispatched to that location via 911 due to a domestic dispute. From my understanding, based on the warrant, it looks like they were in a disagreement because the defendant locked the victim out of their home or out of the basement. Things became turned physical. From my understanding, the victim began to record the altercation on her phone. 1 second. He snatched the phone out of her hand. He began to hug her from behind and wrapping his hands around her. He also threw her to the ground and struck her in the chest. And this happened in front of their 2 juvenile children. The state is asking for a signature bond through pretrial services. We are asking for a family violence intervention program, a stay away from the incident location, no contact with the victims, and that does include the 2 juvenile children, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
All right.
And of course, we would sign for the victim, Ms. Carla Gaddy.
All right, Ms. Carla Gaddy, do you wish to address the court today, Ms. Gaddy?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, raise your right hand for me. Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can put your hand down. I have 2 questions for you. Are you in fear of Mr. Todd Gaddy?
I am.
Do you want to have any further contact with him?
No.
Okay. All right. Any cross-examination by counsel?
I'll ask a question if I can.
Okay.
Miss Gaddy, are you moving out of the home at Hunter's Glen on April 1st?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and also is Todd Gaddy supposed to be, based on a court order, living in the basement separate from you?
Well, the court order doesn't say that he should be living in the basement. No. The court order said we are supposed to maintain status quo until 1st of April.
All right, you all are going through a divorce?
Yes, we were granted the divorce on March the 1st.
Oh, so you have a final order of divorce for March 1st?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you had until April 1st to move out of the home?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. But you're moving out, he's not moving out?
He moved us out, Your Honor. He's keeping the house.
Okay.
So I would just ask the court orders as long as she is at the residence that he's not allowed to return.
Until she moves out.
Correct.
Okay. All right, anything else, PD or Ty?
Nothing else, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, I will.
Oh, Your Honor, but I mean, no other questions for the complaining witness, but.
I'm sorry. Yes, you need to present it. I forgot.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry.
All right, Your Honor. My
Go
client
ahead.
is a 49-year-old father of 3 minor children. He has been a Georgia resident for the last 9 years. As you heard, he has absolutely no criminal history. He is gainfully employed in the same line of work for the last 28 years. He does firmly deny the allegations in the warrant. And in fact, the warrant states that he called 911. The warrant states that that she was the first aggressor and she snatched the phone from him. That's from the warrant. He does have a video recording of her smashing the phone out of his hand on not only this occasion, but another occasion earlier, last month. Your Honor, he states that he was actually on the 911 call when she knocked the phone out of his hand, and he does have video recordings of that. I would object to the Family Violence Intervention Program. I would ask that a stay away only be in place until April 1st. As you've heard from the complaining witness that she's moving out on April 1st. He states that a moving truck is supposed to be coming on March 30th. So if there is a stay away, I would like it to expire on April 1st. And I object to the no further contact with the children, Your Honor. He is 49 years old. He has these 3 minor children. Based on the warrant, there's no reason to keep him from being able to see the children. At the most, a third-party transfer of the children, which they've already been doing.
Are you done? Are you still going?
No, nothing further, Mr. Walker.
So there is a reason. It's called cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. This is a battered family violence and occurred in front of the 2 children. So I just like to say to the court, I'm not just arbitrarily asking for no contact with the 2 minor children just because he's charged with cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. And that's the reason why I'm asking for a stay away.
Yes, Your Honor, there's often a cruelty to children in the 3rd attached to these cases, and there's almost all of the time they can have a third-party transfer of the children.
No, that's not true. In a battered family violence as a standalone case or a standalone charge, there's a third-party transfer. When there's cruelty to children in the 3rd degree, there's often a no contact with the children.
And there's often a third transfer as well.
Well, that's if that's what I determine may be safe. Let me, Ms. Gotti.
Yes, Your Honor.
What have you been doing regarding visitation of the children since your divorce on March 1st?
Nothing, Your Honor. The visitation schedule is going to start on March the 28th. He is not in the house. He comes and goes whenever he pleases. He has no idea what's happening to his kids. This has happened before, Your Honor. The kids are really afraid of their parent, their dad. They're anxious and stressed to know that he's coming back home today. They didn't go to school today. I didn't go to work today. It was a terrible night for us, Your Honor.
And Ms. Gatti, did this incident happen in front of the children or while the children were around?
It was happening in front of the children. As a matter of fact, my 13-year-old son had to grab his dad around his back, and that's when my son suffered. His toenail, he lost his toenail during the incident, like trying to fight with his dad. It was really terrible. It was an awful incident.
And this type of thing has happened in front of the children before?
Yes. Okay. 2 years ago, and I was too afraid to do anything because I was a stay-at-home mom and I didn't know what to do.
Understood. Thank you. So the state just wants to back that up. I'm not done talking. The state just wants to back that up. That's the reason why we're asking for a stay away. We didn't ask for a stay away from the children just because I felt like asking for that today. But I think the court has heard enough to make a intelligent decision, and I digress.
Yes,
All
Your
right.
Honor, and I would just like to point out that in the warrant, it does state that the
Turn
officer
the
spoke
recording
with the
back on.
children. That the
It wasn't, it was my computer and not
Hold
that
on,
somebody
Cynthia.
stopped it.
Your Honor, I
Hold on,
would
Cynthia,
like to,
time.
okay.
Hold on. All right, now start. I'm sorry.
Your
Let me
Honor,
get the recording
thank
back
you.
on.
I would also like to point out that in the warrant, it states that the officer spoke with the minor children who stated that they heard my client screaming and came downstairs, and they stated that they saw their mother grab the phone from him. So, I mean, she was the first aggressor. She snatched the phone from him. And as we've seen earlier today, that in and of itself is a battery family violence.
Well, but she's not being charged today, so I have to go with what the charges are and as to who's being charged. I think everybody agrees, and you stated, and so has PD Walker, I'm sorry, ASG Walker, that the kids saw it. That's what I'm concerned about, and that they can get some semblance of safety in the meantime. They may have to go back, I don't know, on their divorce, but I will go ahead and give Mr. Gaddy a signature bond since this is his first arrest. And I'm going to order on the cruelty 1,500 and on the battery 2,000. So that'll be 3,500 signature bond. And I will order it through the jail. But as far as stay away from the marital home at 7015 Hunters Glen Place, Mr. Gaddy needs to stay away as long as Miss Gaddy and the children reside there. When they do not reside there, I want him to take a police escort with him to sweep the property to make sure that she and the children have actually moved. So I'm assuming she's going to text him and say we've moved or get a message to him somehow. I don't know if he has an attorney that she can go through to get the message that they've moved out. But somehow get a message. And then he must take a police escort back when he returns to the property to make sure that there won't be any more incidents and that Miss Gaddy and the children have left. I'm going to order no further contact with Miss Gaddy, no further contact right now with the children. If there needs to be a modification after April, then you all can apply for that. But right now, I think it is in the best interest of these minor children that they have no further contact with their father until this cools off and maybe they can get farther along in their divorce. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. But that's it.
I would like to ask about Alexander Irving. He's not on the calendar.
Someone answer that. I don't know the answer.
Is that Deputy Blunt?
Yes, that's definitely.
Give me 1 second, Deputy Blunt. I'll look into it and report back, okay?
All right, thank you. Next is petition number 12, Miles.
Okay.
Well, I'll report back after this case.
Oh, this is your case. Okay.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
I'll check into it.
Pretrial doesn't know. Sometimes pretrial knows.
Well,
I wasn't listening. What was the question?
Howard know everything.
Who's the Irving? Did he bond out or what happened?
Irving.
He must have been on the pull sheet. What's the first name?
Alexander,
Oh.
but he's not on the calendar. He was on our pull sheet.
Blunt, what's the booking number real quick?
Book number is 240-4440.
Thank you.
Okay.
And this is Miles, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
24 CR 001313F Gerard Miles, charged with 1 count of battery, a 2nd count of criminal trespass. Pretrial.
I got 20 plus. 2023 FTA, 2019 parole violation out of state, 2015 possession of a controlled substance conviction. Now he has 2 holds. That's all.
All right. State.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched at 1150 Astor Avenue, where they spoke with the victim, Ms. Denisha Gant. She advised that she was at her home. A co-worker who is the defendant, Mr. Miles, was there. She learned that he was smoking marijuana in her home. She asked him to stop. Apparently he did not stop. They had a disagreement. And from my understanding, he went to grab the phone from her hand because she was trying to call 911. He then grabbed her around the neck, resulting in visible scratches that the officer did observe. And a fight ensued, Your Honor. He damaged her television, a Ring camera, a computer, and her cell phone. The state is asking for $1,000 surety bond on each count. That is 1 count of battery, 1 count of criminal trespass and damage to property. And we are asking for a no contact with the victim, Ms. Denisha Gant, a stay away from the incident location, 1150 Astor Avenue. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
All right, is Ms. Gant on the Zoom? No. I'll sound for Denisha Gant. Is she not on the Zoom?
I don't see her, Your Honor, but thank you.
Okay. All right. PD.
Yes,
Can't see.
Your Honor. My client,
Yes.
my client is 46 years old. He is the father of 5 minor children. He has been living in Georgia for over 5 years. He is gainfully employed for the last 20 years and currently works for Expedited Shipping. He does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant and states that the complaining witness was the first aggressor. He was renting a room from her and states that she threw all of his belongings into the dumpster. Your Honor, I missed the pretrial report. My laptop is having issues, but I do believe, I mean, I know that he has 2 holds. The 2023, I think the FTA and the hold, one of them is for a traffic citation. He is recommended for a signature on bond or UJR level 2. I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services. Of course, no further contact with the complaining witness is fine. This incident happened almost a month ago. A stay away from the incident location. He would like a one-time law enforcement escort to get the rest of his things from the property. Nothing further.
All right. I'm going to order a $2,000 surety bond. It's got extensive history. I know he has the 2 holds, but I'm going to order a $2,000 surety bond, 1,000 on each count. Going to order stay away from 1150 Astor Avenue. No further contact with the victim, Denisha Gant. I will order, if he makes bond, a one-time law enforcement escort back to the property to retrieve his items. I'm going to order no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond.
Number 15, on.
Okay, 15.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is 24 01304J, Michael Lee Owens, charged with 1 count of battery family violence. Pre-trial.
6 total.
Oh, no one's in the chair.
Can you hear me? He's sitting
Is
in
he
the chair.
there?
Yes. 6 total.
Oh.
2023 suspended
Okay, I
registration.
just can't see him. Okay.
Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can.
Okay. Okay. 2023 suspended registration. That appears to be open. Got an open case in Dodge County. Inmate having a prohibited item without authorization. Sale of marijuana. 2011 simple battery. That's all. This was level 2 if you give him a signature bar.
All right.
Just so you know.
Yeah, a brief facts of the case
Okay.
is that on Monday, March 18, 2024, the officer was dispatched to 4085 Washington Road, East Point, Georgia, 30344, apartment H in Fulton County, Georgia, about a fight call. Upon arrival, the officer spoke with the victim. The victim in this case is Nasha, Nashia, Wright, Wright, who stated that she and her boyfriend, who happened to be the defendant, got into a physical altercation. The victim stated that she broke the television, and the accused got mad and began to fight her. And during the altercation, the victim sustained a visible scratch injury to the left side of her face. Our office has not been able to get in contact with Ms. Wright. I do believe she is on the call from looking at the desk. But the recommendation from the state is a signature bond through the pretrial services, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, a stay away from the incident location, and no contact with the victim, and the completion of an anger awareness course. And if it could sound from Ms. Wright in accordance with Marcy's law, that'd be greatly appreciated, Your Honor. Nothing further to add from the state at this time.
All right. Miss, is it Nasha Wright?
It's Nashay.
Nashay, okay. Do you wish to address the court today? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right, raise your right hand for me.
Yes.
Raise your right hand. Do you affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, put your hand down for me. Ask you 2 questions. Are you in fear of Mr. Michael Owens?
No.
Okay, do you want to have any further contact with Mr. Owens?
I mean, I don't mind. It was our first altercation ever, so no, I'm not. And we have 2 little kids together.
How old are your children?
1 and 2 years old.
Okay. Do you all reside together? At this
Yes,
Washington
ma'am.
Road location? Okay, and this just happened
Yes,
last
ma'am.
night? Okay, so want to make sure that you and your children are safe, and
Yes, ma'am.
that's my concern for today, okay?
Yes.
All right, any cross-examination questions?
Nothing from the, well, I do want to know who called the police.
I did, Your Honor. Well, yeah, I did.
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
All right. PD.
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 38 years old. He is the father of 8 minor children. He has lived in Georgia all his life. He is gainfully employed as a cook at American Deli and has been for the last 10 years. He does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. I would ask for a signature bond through the jail. I would object to a stay away. I think the complaining witness has stated that she would be fine with no violent contact. And I would object to the anger awareness, Your Honor. Nothing further.
Okay.
And I just point out that the incident date is yesterday, Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to order a $3,000 signature bond. Now we'll make that signature bond through the jail. I'm going to order a stay away from 4085 Washington Road in East Point. You'll have to reside somewhere else so we can have the ample cooling down period. I'm going to order no further contact with the victim right now. And if there is visitation with the minor children, that be precipitated by a third party so that there will be no contact. And no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. That's all I'll order at this time.
Position 17 and 18, Mr. Pope.
I'm gonna call both cases, 24 CR 0013080. Antoine Pope, charged with 1 count of battery family violence. That offense date is November the 11th, 2023. Second case, 24 CR 0013009E, charged with 1 count of simple battery family violence on March the 19th, 2024. I don't know if they're the same victims or not, or different victims.
It's the same victim, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, pre-trial.
Fourth arrest. Was arrested in New York City. I didn't put the year. For criminal possession, it says disguised gun 3rd degree and criminal impersonation 1st degree. 2022 possession of marijuana conviction. That's all.
Got a brief facts of the case that involves a simple battery family violence is that on March 18, 2024, the officer was notified by the security guard at 1010 West Peachtree Street Northwest, an address that resides in Fulton County, Georgia, obviously. The security guard, Perry, stated that the couple was in a dispute. The defendant stated that the two had just met a couple of days ago on the dating app Hinge. The victim stated that the defendant and her had been an on-again, off-again relationship for a year, and that they no longer live together. The defendant has been sleeping in her car, to which she needed her vehicle back. The victim stated that the dispute arose due to her trying to remove the defendant's belongings out of the trunk. The victim stated that the defendant shoved her away from the trunk of the vehicle, causing her to fall to the ground on the palm of her right hand, causing a sharp pain. The victim stated that she has been assaulted before and reported the incident last year, which would have been 2023. Our office was fortunate enough to get in contact with the victim. She states that they're no longer in a relationship. They live together on again, off again at the incident location. However, they share no children together. She confirmed the events in the warrant. She states that there are only 2 incidences of violence. She states that she does not wish to have contact with the defendant and wants him to stay away from the residence. I do believe that she's on the call. So if we could sound for Ms. Dawson, Etosha, Etosha, last name Dawson, Dawson, and at the conclusion of the state's request, that'd be greatly appreciated in accordance with Marcy's law. The request on this case, as it is simple battery, family violence, is a $1,000 surety bond, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, a no contact with the victim, a stay away from the incident location, and the completion of an anger awareness course. As it relates to the facts of the battery family violence case, Your Honor, it is that on November 11, 2023, officers were dispatched to a domestic violence call located at the same incident location, that 1010 West Peachtree Street location in Fulton County, Georgia. The officer spoke with the victim, Ms. Dawson, who stated that she was assaulted by her live-in boyfriend, the defendant. The victim advised that the defendant got in her face, which prompted her to push him away. She picked up one of her bags. She picked up one of the bags containing his clothes and placed it outside. Seeing this, the defendant cornered her in the kitchen and took her down to the floor, proceeding to drag her while she was down. The victim sustained a visible bruising to her right thigh, and the officer observed a bruise and a scratch that she sustained on her elbow. Given that this is a battery family violence charge, the recommendation from the state is a $2,000 surety bond, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, no contact with the victim, a stay away from that same incident location, and the completion of an anger awareness course. In totality, that is a $3,000 surety bond. If we can sound from Ms. Dawson in accordance with Marcy's law, that'd be greatly appreciated. But I'd also like to notate, Your Honor, just as recent as either yesterday or today, the defendant has been reaching out to the victim via the jail phone, trying to, get her to do certain things. And so the state is concerned for her safety in that sense, or concerned with his ability to adhere to any sort of court ruling in that sense as well, Your Honor. Nothing further from the state.
Right. PD Atai or representing?
Actually, Peter Kim, Your Honor.
I think we need to sound for the victim if we can before.
Ms. Dawson. Ms. Dawson, are you on Zoom?
Yes.
Do you wish to address the court today? Yes or no?
No.
All right, thank you. PD Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. My client, Mr. Hope, is 32 years old and he's from New York, but he's been here for a while. And Your Honor, he has a solid job, gainfully employed at a logistics company as an operating manager. Your Honor, he claims that the first incident, he was not even at that place. That is, I believe, complaining witnesses place, 1010 W Peachtree Street. Even though my client pays for the rent, my client wants to say he denies the allegation for the record. And then the recent one, security guard even told the officer that he didn't do anything. My client didn't do anything. It was Miss Dawson who fled from the scene, and there is a camera footage that he can prove, his innocence. We have no objection to no further contact, and stay away from her place. And yet, he needs one-time law enforcement officer escorted visit to retrieve his personal belongings, including the car. And we would like to request for signature on bond through pretrial, even though it may be level 2. We would like to get that. Thank you.
Thank you. On the first case, position 17, ending in 1308E, I'm going to order that $2,000 signature bond, surety bond. And that $2,000 surety bond, I'm gonna order they stay away from 1010 West Peachtree Street. I'm gonna order no further contact with Miss Dawson. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. Second case, position 18, ending in 309E. I will order the $1,000 surety bond. Same condition, stay away. No further contact with the victim. And no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. It's a total of 3,000. Surety.
And Your Honor, if I could just perfect the record, in both cases, the officer was the victim was present at the time that the officer was there. It says it clearly in the warrants. As in one case, they observed injuries, in the other case, they spoke to both parties.
Gotcha. All right, thank you. What do we have next?
Position 1. And I would like to know, have another announcement. Position number 9, Ms. Hudson, she's a Grady loan out, medical reset.
Okay.
Position number 11, posted bond.
What did you say about position 11?
Bond was posted.
And then you said Hudson was the Grady loan out?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay, I got it. Okay, and what
And
position?
what about Lindsay?
That's position number 11.
Okay. And what was your announcement? I'm sorry,
He
Deputy.
bonded out. Bonded out.
Bonded out. Okay.
Correct.
Good. All right. So now we're on position 1. All right. This is 24 CR 001292D. Aaron is in Ansa. Charge of 1 count of willful obstruction. 2nd count possession of marijuana less than an ounce. 3rd count reckless conduct. Pre-trial.
5th arrest. Got an open case in Fulton. Possession of a dangerous sawed-off shotgun, a pistol. Theft by receiving, loitering problem. It's 23 CP 219123. Got another open case, sale of marijuana, possession of a knife or firearm during the commission. Failed to obey stop sign, driving without a valid license. 23 CP 224056. Got the open battery and cruelty out of Forest Park, Georgia, and marijuana.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement observed the defendant at Livermore Street Southwest. They observed the defendant not using a crosswalk and jaywalking. They went to make contact with the defendant. The defendant gave flight. While he was running from the officer, they observed a black metal object fly from his person. He eventually was detained. They were able to go pick up the item that flew from his person. It was a loaded handgun with 13 rounds of live ammunition. Search incident arrest did reveal that he had around 5 grams of marijuana on his person. The state is asking for the first count of obstruction, a $500 surety bond. To the count of marijuana less than an ounce, we are asking for a signature bond. For the reckless conduct, we are asking for a $10,000 surety bond. We are asking for no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
PD him or Ty, not for sure.
Cook.
Oh, PD Cook, I'm sorry.
No problem. My client is 20 years old, has lived in the Atlanta area his entire life. He denies the allegations as stated in the accusation, and we would ask for a signature only bond at whatever level the court deems appropriate.
And I'll just note to the court that it looks like he's out on multiple open felony cases, and I'm sure if I pull up any of these bond conditions, it probably says no weapon, drugs, or alcohol. So the fact that he had a loaded handgun that flew from his person while running from police is very concerning.
All right. I'm going to order the split bond. And on the first count of willful obstruction, $500 surety bond. Second count, possession of marijuana less than an ounce, $250 signature bond through the jail. Third count of reckless conduct, $2,000 surety bond. So 2,500 surety, 250 signature through the jail. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on and I guess that's it. There's no stay away and no victim, right?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. That'll conclude this case.
Next case is position number 2, Baker.
Say that again, position.
Number 2.
Okay. This is 24 CR 0012993C. Brandon Baker, charge of 1 count of battery.
What we got here? 12 total. March 15th, he was arrested in Clayton County for suspended license. Arrest from February, suspended license. Well, registration. 2017 probation, 2016 battery DV dismissed, 2012 robbery first offender. That's all.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 6487 Gray Fox Way in South Fulton, where they met with the victim, Miss Courtney Dillard. She advised the law enforcement officer that she was just dropped off by a friend at her residence when she was attacked by the defendant. The defendant did grab her by her hair or also her sew-in wig, and he punched her in the face, and he actually dragged her down the sidewalk 3 houses away. Her child was at home. Her son actually came outside to assist her mother. There were other witnesses who were on the scene that observed the defendant continuously punch the victim in her face. The officer did observe the redness around her neck, face, and knees from the altercation. The defendant then took her phone and ran away from the incident location. Due to the violent nature of this crime and the past criminal history, which include violent offenses, the state is asking for a $5,000 surety bond, a no contact with Miss Courtney Dillard, a stay away from her home, which is the incident location, 6847 Gray Fox Way in South Fulton. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. Of course, who is out for the victim is Courtney Dillard.
Ms. Killer on the line? Don't think so. Go ahead, Petey Cook.
Your Honor, my client denies the accusations as it is stated in the warrant. I don't believe they share a residence of any kind. So he would have no, we would have no objection to stay away or no further contact. I think he would desire that. Beyond that, we would, he is working, sorry, I'm sorry, he's not working at the moment. He is a barber, but not working at the moment. He has a financial responsibility for one child that lives with him. And his mother, that child's mother is deceased. We would be asking for signature only bond, given his financial situation and given his responsibility to this child. It's the sole responsibility. A signature only bond at whatever level the court deems appropriate.
Right. I'm going to order
Your Honor, I'm
Sorry.
sorry, I just had
Oh.
a chat. It says Miss Dillard is online. It says iPhone Courtney. I just wanted her to be able to address the court if she wants to do so before your ruling. I'm sorry.
All right. Ms. Dillard, do you want to address the court today?
I do.
All right, you'll have to turn on your camera or video. All right, raise your right hand for me. Can you hear me? All right. Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
I do.
Okay. And so let me first ask you, are you in fear of Mr. Brandon Baker?
No, ma'am.
Do you want to have any further contact with him?
Yeah, as long as it's not any violent contact, that's fine.
Okay. You all reside together?
No, ma'am, we have a child together.
Okay. And how old is your child?
She's 2 years old.
2 years old?
Yes, ma'am.
And I see this incident happened February 25th, 2024.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. I don't have any further questions. Any cross-examination by the other attorneys, by the state or by the PD?
Just briefly, if I could.
Uh-huh.
Hi, Miss Dillard. My name is Ian Walker. I'm the prosecutor handling the case today. How are you?
I'm going to yourself.
Thank you. In the warrant, it said that your son was at home. Is that correct?
They was inside the home. They wasn't, outside. They didn't witness anything.
So it's not correct when it says that your son came outside the home to try to help you or assist you? That's not accurate?
No, it's not.
Okay. Nothing further.
Thank you.
Good job.
All right. Go ahead, PD Cook.
Your Honor, given that testimony, again, we have no problem with the any stairway or no further contact. They do share a child, so we would be asking for third-party transfer for visitation and a signature-only bond at whatever level the court deems appropriate.
Okay. And I just wanted to make sure The victim on this Gray Fox Drive or Gray Fox 6487, who resides there?
I do.
Okay. And Mr. Baker does not reside there.
No, Your Honor.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
And if I could just ask Ms. Diller one more question. Do you have any other cases together, Ms. Diller, with Mr. Baker? Is this your first case with him?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to order a $4,000 surety bond, and with that surety bond, I'm going to order stay away from 6487 Gray Fox. No further violent contact with the victim. And no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. Anything else? Did I forget anything?
Would you consider the third party transfer of the child for visitation?
Okay.
They have a 2-year-old.
All right, if there's visitation allowed with the child, I don't know if the child's been legitimated or not, but if she wants to allow visitation, then they can have a third party to help transfer, facilitate visitation.
I'm sorry, Yana, but did you say there was a stay away or no?
Yes, stay away, yes.
Okay, but just no further violent contact.
Yes, but I'll at least have well, I guess it doesn't make sense. So,
I mean, you can have the stay away and no further violent contact.
okay, well, we'll leave it that way.
Okay.
Okay.
All righty.
Is there anyone from Union City?
Are they on?
If so, then position number 10, someone there from Union City.
Okay. I can't tell. Is Union City on?
We can go to position number 14 then.
Okay. This is 24 CR 001303Y. Toy C. Murphy, charge of 1 count of criminal trespass and damage to property. Pre-trial.
Second arrest, 2015 suspended license. Jail was the recommendation.
Okay.
You know, brief facts of the case is that on December 8th, 2023, the officer responded to 1337 Beecher Street Southwest at Unit 8, Atlanta and at Fulton County, Georgia, in regards to a dispute call. The victim told police that she lives at the residence with her child's father, the defendant, her best friend, Rokeithia, Roakethia Cook, and their children. Ms. Cook stated that when both women got off from work, they questioned the defendant as to why the kids had not eaten yet. Ms. Cook advised that the defendant got upset and started breaking glass in the kitchen. She also stated that he broke the front door glass. He then stormed into the bedroom where the kids were watching TV and punched and damaged the TV, and then left the room. The defendant also threw food all over the kitchen walls and ripped open the oven prior to fleeing the scene. Fortunately enough, our office was able to get in contact with the victim, which was the owner of the property that was damaged, Miss Cammie Harris, Cammie Harris, Harris. She states that she is not in a relationship with the defendant. They do not live together. They share 2 children together, however. The victim confirmed the events in the warrant. She states that this has never happened before. She states that they have been in contact since the incident and that there has been no violence I don't believe she is on the call today, so I'll go ahead and state the rest. She stated that she is not in fear of the defendant and is okay with having contact with him having contact with their children. The recommendation from the state, Your Honor, given the nature of everything, is a signature bond through the pretrial services, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, no contact with the victim, in this case, the victim being Cammie Harris, a stay away from the incident location as he does not live there, and the completion of an anger awareness course. And if we could sound from Ms. Harris, even though she's indicated that she would not be on in accordance with Marcy's law, that'd be greatly appreciated. Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
All right, Miss Cammie Harris. Are you on the Zoom, Miss Harris? Don't think so. All right. Which PD is it?
It's me, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, my client is 33 years old. He is the father of 3 minor children. He's lived in Georgia all his life. He has been gainfully employed at Bread Lobster as a cook for the last 13 years. He does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant, which allegedly occurred December of last year. I was not able to speak with the complaining witness, but it sounds like she's fine with no violent contact. I would ask for no violent contact. And because he has a very limited criminal history, I would ask for a signature bond through the jail. I would object to the anger awareness course. Nothing further.
And the state will modify its request to a no further violent contact. She indicated that she is okay with contact for the purposes of the kids, not just with him having contact with the kids.
Okay. Let me order a $2,000 signature bond. I'm gonna order that through the jail. I'm going to order a stay away from the incident location. No further contact with Ms. Cook, no further violent contact with the kids. Is that what we're saying?
No. The state's modifying its request to no further violent contact with Ms. Harris.
Oh, okay. Then no further violent contact with Ms. Harris' children. And no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And is there anything else?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you.
Position 16 Park.
This is 24 CR 001305C. Michael Parks, charge of 1 count of driving while license suspended. 2nd count, driving possession of an open alcohol container. Next charge is wrong way on a one-way street and driving with defective or no headlight. Pre-trial.
On probation for battery DV, cruise in the 3rd. 2021, giving false name. State, you got any driving?
I can double check. I do know that the underlying charge for the driving while license suspended or revoked is for a failure to appear, but I can double check on the status for the driving history. I do believe I checked it and he didn't have an egregious history. One moment. Never mind. That was for the person on the calendar. The other person on the calendar with driving related offenses. I don't have his driving record.
Okay. Go ahead then, present.
The brief facts of this case, Your Honor, is that on March 18, 2024, the officer conducted a patrol in the area of Main Street and West Cleveland Avenue in East Point, Georgia, in Fulton County, Georgia, where the officer observed a vehicle fail to drive with the flow of traffic on a one-way street. The officer also observed the vehicle as having a broken passenger side headlight not functioning. The officer conducted a traffic stop on the vehicle and learned that the defendant had not had a license due to a suspension for a failure to appear. Upon inventorying the vehicle, the officer also observed an open container of alcohol, which was located in the front passenger area. Your Honor, given the underlying charge or the underlying nature of the suspension for the driving while license revoked being a failure to appear, which goes directly to an Ayala factor and flight risk, the recommendation from the state is $1,000 surety bond, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and no driving without a valid license. The breakdown specifically from that's being requested is $700 for count 1, driving while license suspended or revoked, and for the remainder, 3 charges to be 100 apiece, 100, 100, 100. Nothing further to add from the state at this time.
All right.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. My client, Mr. Parks, is 33 years old, and he was born and raised here in Georgia. He's gainfully employed at Apple Company as a floor tech. He has been working there for more than a year. And Your Honor, he has 4 minor children that he has to supply financially, support them. We would like to request for signature on bond through jail. These are all it's not violent related cases. This is a driving traffic tickets. It could have been done with the citations only, and yet that's it, Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to give him a $1,000 signature bond through the jail. That'll be 700 on the driving while license suspended, 100 on the other 3. No driving unless he has a valid license. And no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond.
Did you say signature bond through the jail?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Position number 20.
Okay. 24 CR 0013006Y. Gildardo, is it Torrens? Charging 1 count of battery, family violence. Pre-trial.
5th arrest, got an open case in Fulton for trespass, damage to property, and battery. On probation out of Clayton for theft by receiving, sale of marijuana. 2022 interference with public duties conviction, that was out of state. 2021 probation violation. I think you got a hold out of Clayton County.
Got a brief facts of the case is that the incident occurred at 1250 Gus Thornhill Jr. Drive in East Point, Georgia, here in Fulton County, Georgia. The defendant is alleged to have punched his live-in girlfriend, Joy Springs, Joy spelled J-O-I, Springs spelled S-P-R-I-N-G-S, in the face and mouth, which caused visible bodily harm, a busted lip, swollen left cheek, and left eye. The defendant also bit the victim on her back left shoulder during the physical altercation. The victim was observed by the officer with blood coming from her mouth, as well as scratches to her right shoulder and left hand. Unfortunately, our office has not been able to get in contact with the victim, Ms. Springs, in this matter. Your Honor, I'd just like to point out that the open case here in Fulton County for criminal trespass, damage to property, and simple battery family violence is a dormant bench warrant case, which means that there is likely a failure to appear as it relates to that. Also, he's on an active probation, and we heard about the probation violation in a whole out of other counties, Your Honor. The state is seriously concerned. The recommendation from the state is a $3,000 surety bond, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, no contact with the victim, a stay away from that incident location, and the completion of a family violence intervention program. And if we can sound from Ms. Springs in accordance with Marcy's law, that'd be greatly appreciated, but nothing further to add from the state at this time.
All right. The victim, Miss Springs, are you on the Zoom, Miss Springs? Nope. All right, go ahead, PDs.
Yes, Your Honor, my client, Mr. Torrance, is only 20 years young, and he is still enrolled in high school. He took a little break from high school to go to job and to work, and yet he wanted to graduate, so he has only 4 more classes to complete to graduate. And Your Honor, he is a great soccer player. Indeed, he is playing for the team. And Your Honor, this happened 2022, Your Honor. They broke up. They have no contact. That place is old. My client has no objection to stay away and no contact since they have not had any contact anyway. And we would like to request for signature on bond through pretrial so he can go back to school and finish up and graduate from high school, Your Honor.
This is Mr. Torrance.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you said the incident date was when?
August 12th, 2022.
Okay, I don't have that on Mr. Torrance. I have March 19th, 2024.
What we have is hold on, please, Your Honor. I don't have that one.
What do you have, pretrial or state? What's the incident date?
I'm saying March, but one moment. Let me double check the warrant, Your Honor.
Okay.
He was arrested on March, but incident date itself is August 20, 2022, Your Honor.
That is correct, Your Honor. The citation in the warrant says something different.
Yes.
Okay. All right, but it's August 20, 2022, and he's 20, but still in high school?
Yes.
Is pretrial, I guess he does or doesn't need a co-signer?
Say what now?
I guess he doesn't need a co-signer. He's 20, but he's still in high school.
Oh wow. I mean, what are you ordering? He got a hold out of Clayton County.
Well, I was gonna go ahead and order a signature bond so he can go to Clayton. So I guess it won't matter since he'll be transported to Clayton.
I mean,
maybe.
I don't know. I'm still tripping over this 20 in high school because usually people in high school have to have a cosign.
True.
So order
And
one. You can
yeah,
order
and
one.
I'll order a co-signer. I mean, but if he's gonna be best if he's not transported to Clayton. If they're gonna transport him to Clayton, then I guess it won't matter about the co-signer.
Right. Yeah, it wouldn't matter, Your Honor, because Clayton wants him.
You gonna send it through the jail?
Tomorrow.
Say what now?
You gonna send him through the jail?
Yeah, and then they'll wait for Clayton to pick him up.
Okay.
So let's just do that, and then he won't need a co-signer, right?
Thank you, Your Honor.
And I'll make it a $3,000 signature bond. And to be released to Clayton County.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Is it through the jail?
Yes.
Your Honor, check your screen, please. Okay, there you go.
Okay. But I'm sorry, forgot I hadn't turned it back on. Thank you.
Number 21, Williams.
Okay, 21. Okay. 24 CR 001310G. Divine Williams. 1 count of reckless driving, pretrial.
This is 4th arrest. I saw a 2016 robbery. Possession of a controlled substance, unlawful possession of marijuana out of New York. The possession of a controlled substance was a conviction. 2013 possession of a controlled substance as well, conviction. That's all.
The brief facts of the case is that on March 19, 2024, the officer was stopped in heavy congested traffic on Fulton Industrial Boulevard when the officer observed a vehicle traveling on the shoulder emergency lane at a very high rate of speed, improperly passing vehicles in the area with heavy vehicular traffic, pedestrian traffic, and several MARTA bus stops, which are on the side of the road with a disregard for persons or property. At the time, the officer activated their emergency equipment, which is the lights and sirens, and began to attempt to catch up to the vehicle to initiate a traffic stop of the vehicle. While catching up to the vehicle, the officer brought their vehicle up to 80 miles per hour, and the above vehicle continued to pull away from the officer. I do believe that the posted speed limit was 45 miles an hour in that area. The defendant eventually pulled into the Quick Trip parking lot at the intersection of Fulton Industrial Boulevard and Camp Creek Parkway, at which point he was taken into custody. The recommendation from the state, Your Honor, is a signature bond through the pretrial services, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and abide by any active restrictions that are currently placed on his license. Nothing further from the state.
All right. PDs?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Williams is 30 years old and he is expecting a baby soon. So he's desperate to return back to the work. He's working as a mover at Two Man and Truck, and he wants to make sure that he has his license all stuck in the road. And we would like to request for a signature on bond through jail.
All right. I'm going to order a $2,000 signature bond through the jail. I'm going to order no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And I guess that'll be it for now. Anything else I need to order?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay.
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I do have two waiver cases, Your Honor.
Okay. Who is this?
Morning, John.
Or afternoon.
I want to ask again about Mr. Alexander Irving.
Oh, did they find out anything on him?
Yeah, so what, Miss Blunt, what are you showing on his booking screen? I'm showing a felony.
But he's not on it. He's not on the calendar, but his charge is theft by shoplifting.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct. But when you look at the warrant, it's a felony. So did he not go to felony first appearance today?
No.
He was on our report sheet though, but yeah, he should have went to felony.
Right. So that when you look at the warrant, Deputy Blunt, it's a felony. So we can't address that here.
Okay.
Is that based on the value of the alleged?
I don't have the warrant pulled up, but if you pull it up, it
Okay.
says felony. So they'll have to address that in magistrate court since it's a felony.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you for double checking though.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm glad you asked because he needs a first appearance. It's just not here.
Mm-hmm.
The warrant say Mr. Me.
Who is this in the chair?
This is him. We waiting on you in city to log on.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Is 22 is in Union City? Who in Union City? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Good.
Station 10 is at Union City.
I'm sorry, but who is this in the chair?
This was the person I was just asking about.
Oh, okay. That's Irvin in the chair.
Oh, that's
Okay.
who we can't hear. Okay.
Where's Sister Goodrum? Number 8.
I'm waiting for Miss Goodrum.
She's at
Are you, ma'am?
Where is she?
Because we have a waiver of appearance. She's at ACDC, Your Honor.
Oh, but that's one of your waivers.
Yes.
All right. Is that all we have then?
What? Goodrum? You said that's position who? Who's
Number
that?
8.
Number 8.
Y'all want to do number 8?
Yeah.
Oh, well, hold on.
And she's a waiver.
Yes.
So who can we do now?
Number
8.
8.
Yeah,
Okay,
we can do 8.
okay, so Miss Kim, is that you?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
All right, 24 CR 0013007D. Joyce Goodrum, charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. Pre-trial.
18 total. She been in custody since February for trespass. 2023 trespass. 2022 disorderly conduct, criminal damage to property. 2020 trespass. 2019 simple battery conviction. 2019 PI trespass conviction. I stopped there.
All right. Okay.
I'm not sure if this is my case, but if it's a criminal trespass and you say she's been in custody since when?
It's my case.
February.
The state will consent to, the state was prepared to consent to a signature bond through the jail with the conditions of no alcohol, drugs, or weapons and to stay away from that location. We were aware of the Riverside matter. The location is, I'm not going to butcher the name, HAUGABROOKS Funeral Home located at 364
Oh,
Auburn Avenue.
Hagerbrook. Yeah, Hagerbrook Funeral
Oh,
Home.
Hagerbrooks.
We can tell who's from Atlanta and who's not.
But I know Willie Watkins.
Oh, you know Willie Watkins. This is true. Isn't that right? Did I pronounce it right pre-trial?
you did, Hockerbrooks.
Mm-hmm. I've just been here a long time. All right. So how much is that?
Oh, I didn't put a total on it. It's just
Yeah.
signature bond through the jail from the state's perspective.
Yeah, let me do $1,000 signature bond through the jail.
And just to put a couple of facts on the record, she was alleged to have spray painted the side of the building.
Oh no, of Hagerbrook?
Yeah, vandalization, all kinds.
That's not nice.
That's a landmark there.
As you already say, that's a landmark. That's history.
Mhm.
Okay, well, she need to be out there scrubbing it off.
Yeah, I think she originally had a $10,000 surety bond, so somebody was very upset.
Yes, I'm sure they are. Yeah. Okay. I'll give her 1,000 FOB jail and hope she doesn't go back whatever beef she's got with them.
Number 22, waiver, Mr. Williams.
Okay. All right, this is 24 CR 001311B. Willie Williams, charged with 1 count of simple battery. Pre-trial.
Got 10 total.
Okay.
2022 unlawful to remove baggage cargo from a bus, rail, aircraft, or terminal. Possession of marijuana. 2021 trespass battery. 2014 burglary, littering, public drunk conviction. 2012 and a 2011 arrest for burglary. That's it.
Brief facts of the case is that the victim advised the defendant assaulted her in their apartment home by punching her in the head and kicking her in the side of her body. Both the victim and the defendant reside at the apartment unit and have been living together. The location of that incident was 532 Cleveland Avenue, Southwest Atlanta, Georgia. And the victim's name is Alexandria Disick. I'm Alexandria, Alexandria. Last name Deisch. If we could sign for her in accordance with Marcy's law, as our office has not been able to get in contact with her, that'd be greatly appreciated. The request from the state is a signature bond through the pretrial services, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, a stay away from the incident location, no contact with the victim, and the completion of an anger awareness course. Nothing further to add from the state.
All right. Which PD is this?
PD Kim, Your Honor.
Okay.
Well, I
You're
thought,
the signature bond?
yes, we have no objection to signature on bond. He is going to be transferred to Clayton County anyway. So I was wondering if we can do signature on bond through jail.
Okay.
And we have no objection to no contact and stay away.
Okay. No further contact with the victim. Stay away from incident location. That'll be a $2,500 signature bond through pretrial, transfer to Clayton, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond.
Can you have a one-time law enforcement officer escort visit to retrieve his personal belongings?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, one-time escort.
Does he have an address? And why he not in court?
Oh, he broke his ankle, so he cannot walk well.
He broke his ankle.
Yeah, I have a address for him, so I can text you.
No, please don't. I don't need the text. I was just wondering, does he have one? He's not here. What is the hold for anyway?
Marijuana.
Judge, what level is this? Because the recommended is level 3.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I should just change it to jail.
Yes, I think that would be better. Thank you, Your Honor.
Let me just change it to jail. It's getting too complicated, right?
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Yeah, I only have one more. My client, Miss Dubose, actually Dubose, she had a signature on bond last Friday, Your Honor. And the condition of the bond was to be released to Franklin County because there was hold and they don't want to take her. So I was wondering, because I submitted bond modification to just get her be released since they don't want her anymore. I was wondering that would be granted.
Did I do that? Did I sit last Friday?
No, it was law.
It was law.
Yes, Your Honor.
What was the bond anyway?
Right.
2,500 signature on bond through pretrial, level 2, stay away from all MARTA, and then be released to Franklin County since there was a hold there, and they contacted Franklin County. They don't want to come and pick her up.
So then, can't you do the modification and Ms. Bridgewater, you send it to Judge Law?
I mean, I can. When does Judge Law sit? Is she on for tomorrow?
No, but her email working.
Okay, well, I don't have a problem with it.
She has SAP in the morning.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll do it that way, and I'll just send it to her, and she'll make her ruling at that time.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Okay, now I do have a question on position number, let's see, was it 9 or 10? Perhaps maybe it was position number 10. What was the announcement on that?
Waiting on Union
Has anybody
City.
called Union City?
I know. She said she had. She left her a message. We're going to move on from Union City.
Well, she's the last one, or he's whoever it is.
Yeah, that Deontavius Hughley.
Yes, Your Honor.
Union City doesn't want to pick up the line, do they?
Well, I called again and spoke with whoever answered the phone, and I think that from courtroom 2 they sent them the Zoom link. But I don't want him to be reset. He's 17 years old, and his mother and grandfather are on the line. I don't know why Union's getting on, but I don't want him to spend longer in jail than he needs to because he's not able to appear today. I can try to call back and have him waive his.
At least you got somebody to answer the phone. That's some progress, but then, yeah, can't they? I guess we don't know what's going on down there. Ron, have y'all had them this week at all?
Not yesterday, we didn't.
You didn't have them yesterday?
Hmm.
Well, we're not
Deputy
gonna
Blunt,
wait
can you get
forever.
a hold of anybody for us, please? No?
Who?
I'll try calling again.
Okay. And tell them they need to hurry up.
In the meantime, Your Honor, can we go ahead and go over the calendar since that's the only one that's holding us?
Ms.
Yes,
Bridgewater,
ma'am.
Yes?
but I need to clarify the one that was off, not on the calendar, was was an add-on. Irvin Alexander, I need to determine what, the warrant I'm seeing doesn't suggest a felony at all. I was wondering what Mr. Walker was seeing.
Well, the warrant that's on the Jelen screen says felony. Do you want to read out loud what the warrant? I mean, only way I could tell you is if you read it out loud, because the one I read felony. So
Okay.
does it say felony on
No, it says misdemeanor. If the accusation is,
No, it wouldn't be an accusation because it has not been accused.
okay, I'm sorry. I'm using accusation and I'm on general sense. Okay, I'm looking at the affidavit for arrest, misdemeanor, said accused did take possession of an Apex Go Track electric scooter, a value of $500 or less. $314.99, property of Target.
Okay, give me 1 second because I'm pulling up. I'm on his Jelen screen. It says there's a preset bond of $5,000 for shoplifting. Let me open it up because he's only being held on one charge.
That's a pre-file.
And it's from 2/20 of this year, a scooter. It says theft by shoplifting felony. Do you want me to read the warrant number to you? EW 043-5587. Is that the warrant you're reading?
No, I'm reading, and the only warrant on my screen is 043558582.
82?
82. Date of incident 3/19/24.
Oh, he must have had the outstanding felony then. I see the one you talking about in from February.
Right, that's the only one that he's booked in on, right? There's only one charge.
Hold on for a minute. Let me see something.
I'm on his
And it does say felony beside that one.
Okay.
Well, he was okay, this is weird.
The booking
On the Jelen screen, he was booked in February 23rd for possession of meth and a shoplifting. That shoplifting was booked in error.
But what's showing as I'm showing one present hold, and I'm showing the felony shoplifting. Do you see that?
I see that.
Okay.
Do you see another hold?
Hold on. Let me look at the warrant from when he came in February real quick. February was okay. That's the meth. They didn't even put the other warrant with it. Yeah. I'll be on break while y'all figure this out.
Wait, I thought you was figuring it out.
I don't see the other warrant, so all I see is the felony warrant from the one you see that says felony beside the shoplifting.
I don't know what deputy I'm speaking to, but you may have a different warrant, but from the Jelen screen, that's what we go by. He's not booked in on a misdemeanor shoplifting charge.
Well, yeah, it's his booking report, Fulton County Jail, so it sure is.
But do you have Odyssey pulled up? I don't know.
Oh no, I don't have Odyssey at the moment.
Right. So
I emailed you, Mr. PD Cook. I emailed you the felony charge warrant. You can compare. Yes.
Okay. Well, if that's what it is, okay.
But no, it's not you. But you read a different one. And my point is, sometimes you guys find outstanding warrants that people are not booked in. And an example of that is when we set a bond and they're set to be released the next day, and they can't get released because you guys magically find a warrant. I'm thinking that this might be it. So it looks like you might have found a separate warrant but my point is he's not been booked in on that warrant according to Odyssey.
Okay, what I've got is the package they send me every morning, and it's the booking sheet and then the warrant. And the booking sheet is one count, misdemeanor, shoplifting, and then the warrant, the number that I gave you is the misdemeanor, the affidavit for arrest is what I read. That's a misdemeanor, shoplifting, $314.99. So.
Now the deputy said something about a scooter. Now you said $314.
Well, no. The value of the scooter is $314.99.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not sure what to say. Everybody has access to ID.
Well, I'll look at what Ms. Kim sent me. I'm just saying I only have what I have. So we generally don't go to Odyssey unless there's some reason for us to double check the book.
Because we don't want that to hold our client in the jail. So I'll email this to you.
Okay.
Can you
All
run
right,
the
yeah,
records and see what they have?
I can only accuse a case that's been where the person has been booked, and the jailing screen is not showing that he's been booked on that warrant.
Okay. That's from February. They looking at that's okay. He was on the street yesterday. The February's an old warrant. This he was picked up at 319. I don't know.
Well, it hasn't been scanned in then, because I don't
Correct.
see
He's
no
not been
March
booked.
warrant.
He's not been booked on that warrant. So if y'all want to book him in on that warrant, we'll be glad to address it.
Okay. It looks like they scanned in the wrong one. But well, I guess I don't know.
And if you look at the preset bond amount, it's $5,000. I've never seen a misdemeanor shoplifting for a $5,000 bond amount.
No. See, I'm not even seeing that. Miss Kim has sent me some stuff, but I don't. But I'm just saying from the booking report and the affidavit for arrest we received this morning, it's 319. He was on the street yesterday, so I don't know what was going on in February.
So what would you like to do?
I'd like to get bond set on the misdemeanor.
Okay, so if you do a bond order, what would you like to put down? Because there's no case number, and the booking number that he has is associated to a felony. So
you can't do anything until they book him in on the charge.
Right.
Not booked in on the charge. There's nothing we can do today.
Okay, so when I'm reading date book 3/20/2024, he wasn't booked.
They booked him in on a felony warrant. If you pull up his jailing screen, it's showing a felony warrant. So whoever's working in records or intake at the Fulton County Jail needs to book him in on that misdemeanor warrant that you're looking at.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Well, it's booked in, but maybe it's not scanned into the right.
Well, once they put it in the system, we can accuse the case. But I mean, you could put a booking number down, but it's going to be associated to the felony. If you type in his current booking number, and I can read the booking number to you, it's going to pull up a felony case.
Okay. Well, I mean, if nobody can do anything, nobody can or will do anything, nobody will do
Well,
anything.
I mean, somebody can do something. If the records department or the intake departments book him in on the correct warrant, we can then take the second step. But the first step is that he's booked in on the warrant.
Okay. I don't know what to tell you. I'm looking in a booking report and it says misdemeanor shoplifting. So what can I do?
So y'all gonna reset him to tomorrow?
We have to.
They have to book him in and schedule him for court tomorrow.
Tomorrow, right?
Go to records and tell them they need to book him in on this charge. Add
right
it
here.
to his booking screen.
They're
This
right
is
here.
what needs to happen.
Okay, they're right here. So what I'm hearing is the booking number 2404440. If I plug it in and say Odyssey, I'm going to see a felony. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, that is a felony charge.
Okay. Well, all right. Okay, fine. We'll just reset it again.
What did we find out about Union City?
Nothing. We're gonna reset them to tomorrow too. I hate it for the young man.
I just spoke with them and they asked for the Zoom link password.
Thanks, Kim.
There is no password. You just click on the link if they got the email. Is there a password, Casey?
There's a password. The link has been sent to this young lady 3 times.
Y'all
They,
gonna make the news today.
uh-huh. What do you say, Ian? We gonna be on the news today?
Your Honor, let me just call them one more time.
Miss Atai, are you able to ask for whoever you're speaking to their email address and you can just forward them the Zoom link?
Right.
Yes.
So they can just click on it or whatever everybody else does to get in.
Okay, all right. I will. Let me call right now.
Thank you, Casey.
You know it's time to go when Norris start cleaning, sweeping the courtroom.
Okay.
Ali,
Okay. Deputy Norris.
Judge,
You
did you
can-
receive that paperwork?
Looking at it now, my dear.
Awesome.
Yep, I got it. Just save.
It's been a long day.
Oh, Lord, yes.
It'll soon be over though.
Won't it all?
Yes, yes, yes.
Let's
They said they're getting him right now, Your Honor.
They better be
They
telling
said they
the
had a,
truth.
well, he said they have a major activity going on right now. I don't know what's going on, but
Oh, something's going on, and they're not going to be able to get on.
well, they said they're bringing him out right now.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. Where did multitasking here? There we go.
How did that happen?